Okay, welcome to part 2 of, we're especially talking about Arcturians. I actually don't know what they are, but I'm going to explain what they are, even not knowing. This is going to make perfect sense to you. So whether you're into this or not, because I don't follow all this stuff, but I get my own downloads. I'm going to share with you what they talk about with us going into 5D, which is happening now. Amazing messages. They're going to actually, and I will share this with you, ET's arrival. What is that? What happens to the body? What's going to happen to our financial systems? You're going to love this, and I'm also going to give you my own actual, I call it downloads, but information that I have access to, which I have shared with you, that actually is so in alignment with what they're saying. I'm going to share with you why that is. Where's this information coming from? From who? It's so simple. And when you understand this, you can go into a state of being that you never thought was possible. You can become what I call 4.0. I'm Landria 4.0 now. All right, are you ready for this? Part 2 of Arcturians, let's say, not predictions, well, predictions, but their vision of what is happening now, and it's very exciting. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an amazing life. You know, I knew that my little garden, I think that's Buddha, I don't know, I'm not a Buddhist, I'm not anything, would spark some comments. These are the things we're going to talk about, is the judgment, the beliefs, the limitations. These are the things that will hold you back from going into 5D. What's 5D? It's just a term for an advanced state of being of a frequency. All right, 5-dimensional means we are more expansive than what we see and experience here in a physical world. We're in a very challenging one. 3D, 4D, it's all very challenging. It's heavy, it's limiting, it's unconsciousness. But we are, as these human beings in a physical world, able to and going into 5D. Even as humans. Now, somebody asked me to address what happens to the body and our stuff. I'm going to address all of that. So, welcome to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, you know that I'm always going to ask you to support positivity. AI picks up on what I say and what you say you want. And when it sees positive message of love and light and expansion and a really amazing future, we're going to actually talk about that today, it will support my channel and put me out there to more people. That's how it works. So I hope that you will support me in that effort to spread the word that amazing things are coming. All right? So I'm going to ask you, and by the way, any questions about things that you have, go in my description. You have all kinds of free stuff down there. Free email lists, free ways to understand how to create online businesses that can change the world. Planet conscious businesses. I have a whole tuition training system that does that. We're doing amazing things, and we're going to actually talk about this. The Arcturian Council actually addresses this. This is so important. This isn't just something that's going to happen. It's something that you have to make happen. And this is the most important message I can from this whole video, is that it is a flexible, changing, unlimited reality future. And you get to choose yours. And ours will not be the same. It's impossible because we're completely different people with different backgrounds. This is exciting stuff. So let's let go of this is how things are. Here's who the Arcturians are. And they actually address that, your opinion of them. So let me share where I got this from. Brian Scott is always reading other people's stuff. Quo, the Arcturians, you name it. Neville Goddard, Edgar Casey. He's reading actual books, channelings, all this stuff. They're very lengthy videos. He does give his opinion, but he doesn't really give, downloads and any channeling on his own. So if you want actual readings, you can go over there. This is from a channeler called Daniel Scranton, who's written books. Now, whether I believe this or not is irrelevant. I like the messages. Now, I'm going to share with you right now before we start what this actually is, and the Arcturians actually support this. Everything is in the quantum field. Every message, every frequency, every reality, existence, everything's there. So everything that we get from a channel or anything else is true. Here's the difference. What are you getting? Is it this frequency message or this one? They're both true. So people say, well, that's not true. And I say, no, maybe you didn't like it because it's coming from a low frequency. Part of that has to do with the channeler. They actually affect, because their energy field is going to tune into an energy field on that level. Now, if they get out of the way, they can open themselves up to something higher. Totally possible. Most people don't channel that way. Your energy field and your beliefs will affect the messages that come in. And this is true of anyone, not some channeler. We're all channelers. We're always channeling information because the information and you are one thing. When you get out of the way of all this other stuff in the mind, and this is how things are, you actually access unlimited information. You still function as a human being because we're playing out a role that we chose, and the Arcturians are going to talk about that too. So, the first thing I want to say, voices are all one of all frequencies. You tune in and everyone has access. Your fear affects your reaction and your interpretation of things. So if you go into something, this is why people, they say they're abducted by, ETs, have a fearful experience and somebody else won't. That is a personal energy field that interprets that experience. All right, so I just wanted to reinforce that again. That's my information. If you guys have seen my book, I had a major download, and I wrote a book, and I was told I had to get it out. And if those of you have read it, have told me it's changed your life. It takes you into the 5D and beyond informational space. And I shared that information. I didn't go into some trance, but I got up at screwball hours. I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and go right for hours and then go crash again. So I absolutely was tuning into this, and it came and I just wrote it. I actually haven't read the book. I'm carrying that information with me. What you must do to go into 5D, you have to tune into the eternal. Let go of what you must do. So here, a lot of you guys are asking, what do I need to do? Do I need to change this? Let go of what you must do. Open yourself up to the eternal and don't determine what that is. Now, of course, what's a high frequency? We want to be on a high frequency. That means start taking care of your body, start taking care of your belief systems, whatever, meditation, treating people better. You have to work on going into the high frequency. Let go of judgment, any meanness. Ask yourself why you would say anything negative to somebody. It's because you're not feeling good yourself, about yourself. So whenever anybody says anything on my channel, I'm like, they're in a very dark place. And so I don't criticize or judge them. I'm just like, why would you want to go into that space? Oh, we got a little dove out here. Of course we do. Let go of what you must do. 5D, and I'm going to address the body. Some of you ask what happens to the body. 5D is unique for everyone. So here's what humans believe and have to let go of if you're going to go into this space. Because everything exists and everything's an individual choice, you can experience a future that's completely different to mine. Completely different. Because if we had all the same future, then people would be inhibited from what they chose, right? So in other words, if I want to choose a higher frequency, I'm going to experience a completely different future. Otherwise, you know, I would, if somebody's choosing darkness, then do we all have to be in darkness? Of course not. It isn't. Does this make sense? Think about this. If I get to choose the frequency that I achieve here as a human being, then my actual reality and future, an actual probability that's completely different to somebody else's, I will experience. And they'll say, well, wait a second, we're on the same planet. Well, if we are experiencing it together, that's because you have entangled with my beliefs, and we're playing roles in that. This is way beyond human comprehension. So let go of it. So in other words, if you are watching this stuff out there and you're entangling with these messages, and you believe that a cataclysmic event has to happen, alien disclosure has to happen, the government has to do certain things, then you will live in that reality and things will be controlled by events and other people. None of that has to happen. If it does, it's just going to be a free-flowing thing that is integrated with your experience, and it's going to be welcome. All right? There won't be fear involved or any of it. I'll talk more about the ET thing. The body. So we need to prepare for this. Those who, you know, to make it an easy transition. You don't have to prepare, but if you do, then the energy shift. So when you go to high frequency, it will affect your body. Okay? We know DNA has shifted and changed. That's a fact. So what does that mean? Things are firing up that were not active. Parts of the brain. Why would we have these parts of brain that we don't use? Why is there junk DNA? It's not junk. Nothing's junk. Everything has a function. We may not be using it. Oh, it's tough sitting on this angle. So what you want to do is prepare for that. So you want to cleanse your body. Now you guys, go in the description. I help you choose non-toxic products, vegan, planet-friendly, no plastic. I'm doing all this research and trying all these products so that you can start using them to clean up your body, your hair, your skin, okay? All of that. Start using these things, whether they're mine or somebody else's. Start cleaning up everything. Don't use chemicals. Don't put anything on your lawns. You know, don't put stuff in the garbage. I mean, stop the madness. And then you are making a choice to shift into a cleaner reality. That's what's happening. So nature will resolve issues in the body and mind. So we need to go into nature and connect with it. Really pay attention to nature. It's intelligent. I have experienced many, many times total energy blasts, I call them, with plants, trees, and just absolute feeling this super high energy. I've gone into the 5D. I've gone into what's called the fourth sight, where the planet, everything actually looks different. Eckhart Tolle spoke about this. You'll experience this when you go into this higher dimension. Everything is vibrant and bright, and you actually see things completely different. I can't even describe it because if you've never seen it, you don't know. Some of you experienced the fourth sight. I didn't know what it was. A friend of mine goes, oh yeah, you have the fourth sight. Or what's that? And he said, you're actually seeing into a more expansive space, and you physically are picking up on that dimension where everything is, again, more in-depth, vibrant. It's amazing. So what is Ascension? Ascension is a major download in a frequency shift. That's all it is. You don't go on a spaceship. However, they say if you think there's going to be a spaceship that physically takes people away, that may be what you experience. I believe that the Ascension is just a frequency, and that playing out your role here is playing out being a higher ascended frequency being as a human. That's a big task. All right. We are major players. By the way, Arcturians say that they don't experience darkness. They're in a different frequency and they don't. They said that they are actually working on going as becoming oversouls, and that we are going into higher self, which is actually all existing We just experience it. It's not like, oh, my higher self's here and I'm going to go into it. It's like, no, it's here, but I'm still experiencing this. And as soon as I'm done with that, I become the higher self. Does that make sense? And you have all this, that's why you have that information. It's all available. Some people want that, some people don't. So, some people don't want to go into a place where there's no darkness. They love it. They love experiencing it. We chose this incarnation. We're superheroes, they said. And I love their term. They said, we're the ground crew. We chose to come into the most difficult situation of unconsciousness and pain and feelings and heaviness in a 3D world. We chose it. We chose this because we want to experience going into consciousness under the most difficult circumstances to know it. Right? Why? Why would we do this? To know it. Again, if you sit on the beach all day, have you ever done that? You're like, I'm bored. I live on the beach. I'm looking at it right now. So we're actually completing the cycle. Going into 5Ds, we're completing the cycle of humanity's evolution spiritually. And of course, not everybody will do this, but we're completing the cycle of going into 5D. In other words, the advancement of human beings into a higher consciousness. And here's what they said. You're going to love this. There will be peace on earth. I've told you this. I know some of you think we're going into something horrible. I think it's beautiful. I think the challenges are what allow us to expand. If I sat here all day and I had no challenges, I have no opportunities to expand or extend myself or be the hero or give, right? And a lot of that's happening right now. As you know, massive changes. Every single person I know has told me something cray-cray is going on. And it's all different. Death, changes in body and mind. Some of you are experiencing this orbs and things. It's just, we're going to talk about this now. We're going to talk about how you must embrace this, because when you let go of the fear and the human consciousness, unconsciousness, that's something different or separate to you and it's evil or it can harm you. When you let go, you realize you and it are one, and that nothing has power over you when you're on a high frequency. If you're on a low frequency, you believe it has power and you're in fear, so therefore it does. So you play those roles out. That's how simple fear is. My whole system's called Break Through Fear. Embrace fear, but it doesn't control you anymore. So when we complete the cycle, where do we go? We return to the galaxy. By the way, there are endless galaxies. It's beyond galaxies. We return to the galaxy, which has trillions and trillions of stars, solar systems, and our friends, our love, all the people and entities, I should say, that we have commingled with. We get to play out new roles. So it's still part of creation, taking on individual roles, it's non-existent, but it's real in the creator's game. Now, some of you don't like the word game. I think games are fun. I have game night here at my place. So you got to hold your high frequency. So here's the challenge. You're going to be challenged. This is part of it. In order to evolve, the challenges of those who choose darkness, the control, controlling money and systems, all that stuff, you're going to have to hold your frequency. You're going to have to stop separating, blaming, they're the enemy, good, bad. You've got to let it all go and hold your frequency. You're going to be challenged because you're going to want to go back to well, but they're evil. I'm like, you don't get it. There is no they're evil. There's all kinds of darkness out there. What about children or animals or plants? Yeah. It's all part of the darkness playing out. We have to be those who are the change makers to allow that to make higher choices and to, yes, step in, of course, but do it in peace, not judgment and struggle and fight and conflict. We're done with that. You have to accept all sides, accept all, and you'll start thinking as a collective. The 5D, you'll know when you think of yourself as a collective, when you see other people, this is happening more and more with me. I'll say something and somebody will get off the phone, they go, oh my God, that just happened. I said, that's because we placed ourselves in that space with no limitations, right? So when I think of something and I envision it, the other person has to participate if they want to experience that. And you'll see things just happening. Because we're a collective and we can create anything. And so it's like no big deal. It's not, so when you guys are trying to manifest, I want this, you're coming from ego and fear and lack. Something's wrong and it needs to be right. Nothing's ever wrong. It's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm done struggling and suffering. I'm gonna let it go. And then you take the action and make the efforts. We're in a physical world. You have to take the action. Some of you said bodies, what happens are things. You get to enjoy the stuff more. I have gotten rid of maybe 25%, probably a lot more than that, maybe 30, 40% of my stuff again. And it was gorgeous stuff. Oh, gorgeous stuff. And I'm appreciative that. And so I had to say, okay, what items do I want? And I love them, not from an attachment standpoint, but you have enjoyment of the material world. And so you'll be able to go to spaces and places where the energy will feel good and you're supposed to be there and things will align for you and you'll appreciate it, but you won't be attached. You can't get attached to stuff that's 3D. So more things will flow to you, but it'll be the things that you desire in your life and need, to accomplish your goals more than excess. So those of you like, how do I get this? I'm like, nah, let it go. Let go of the material world and you'll have everything you need. We're going to talk about that in a minute, about the imbalance of that on our planet. Okay, ETs. Yes, meetings will be taking place, but not with governments. You guys think governments are making deals. I said, they don't need our government's permission to do anything. What a joke. I can't believe that there are videos out there where like, so our governments are making deals with ETs. I'm like, listen, they can't infringe on free will anyways, okay? There's always agreements in place. You guys say, well, they're abducting people. I said, no, there's agreements in place and we're in unconsciousness, so we don't remember anything. And so if we're in fear, we'll say that I didn't give approval. But no government controls any of that. It's hysterical. They can do anything, but they all abide by not infringing on free will. Can they interact with us? Yeah. A lot of that happens because you're participating in some way, whether it's pre-planned and you're playing something out, or you're interacting because you're in a negative space. So they're going to meet with spiritual leaders. Does that make sense? Yeah, because they want us to succeed, because if we succeed, everyone in the galaxies and those creations, they expand and benefit from it. So they are cheering us on. You say, well, there's some evil ones. Of course, hey, listen, nothing beats the evil on this planet. Don't be worrying about some reptilian. I don't even know what that is. But if those are evil, listen, we got bigger problems here. Much bigger. So he's like, what about this? And I said, wait, so what are you doing about it? This is what we're here for. Let's resolve these issues and allow darkness to make higher choices. Not to stop them because they're wrong. They're experiencing it. We cannot know someone else's journey. The shift is not going to be some big cataclysmic thing. It's going to be gentle. It's actually happening right now. Fear will dissolve when you are ready to meet the ETs, the orbs, the unseen beings. It's just endless. ETs and the unseen, they're actually in the same space. They can blink in and out. They are not abiding by fuel to a planet. They just pop in ways we can't imagine. When you let go of the fear, and if this is what you want to communicate, you can. Why not? We are one collective. When I say collective, I don't mean just humans. I mean everything is one thing. It's one mind. So of course you can communicate with them. There are beings of every kind in every possible form you can imagine. why is that so weird? If you were limiting yourself, okay, that's what you choose. There are no limits to source. Source has no limitations, all right? And if you call something wrong, you're calling source wrong. Source can never be wrong. It just is. I am that I am. So 4 and 5D. Some of you are thinking you have failure, you're beating yourselves up. You're going to realize, as I very well do, it's always expansion. This or better. You love that video. This or better. How can going into war or that be this or better? It presents opportunities for total evolution, and people within those challenges will make choices that take us to a completely different level. And there's some that will self-destruct. But everyone chooses. See, this is, you're probably thinking when you go into that fear of that it's wrong, that people don't choose it, that we are. I know this is the toughest thing. I wouldn't choose that. Well, then why are you here? You had other planets, and forget planets. You could be anything, right? Yeah, we're the ground crew. So if you go in these situations and you play it out, there are actually opportunities for everyone else and the entire human collective to change it. Yeah, pretty cool, right? So what'll happen is 5D is when you actually start to enjoy the challenges. And you go, oh, another opportunity. Okay, I'm a human being. Sometimes I sit there and go, this is what it's like to feel fear. This is what it's like to feel sadness. And I sit in it and I go, wow, this is so cool. This is not what I am, but what is it like to feel this? This is such a unique experience. I know you probably think I'm nuts. And that's okay. You have free will to choose that. All right, there will be no religions because that's separation. That's like, this is how things are, and there aren't any. This thing sitting back here, it's a beautiful statue, a very peaceful one. The Buddhist practices, I think, are very beautiful. They're of oneness, no names, right? Your thoughts about the quantum field will vary, and all of them are true. So what you believe about the Arcturians and the Pleiadians and the, I don't know what all these things are true. They said if you believe it, it's true because there is a reality of all of these things that are true. So I'm watching this guy and he says it's true. And what I say is true and what you believe is true. So you got to ask yourself, where is that? Where is that in the frequency level? Because the less limitations, fewer limitations you have, the higher you go, and you actually then connect to oneness because you realize all of it's one thing, even the darkness. Tough. The economy, everyone will have opportunities and their needs will be met, but you have to feel your worth. You have to choose it. Okay, so if you choose lack and you want to experience that, you'll continue to until you decide you're done with it. All right? So we have to together change this. So it will happen if we together find new ways to even the playing field, and again, understand some people will still choose greed and some people will choose poverty for their experience. We don't know why, but don't judge it and just say, okay, as long as we create a even playing field and opportunities, they have the choice. We're the change makers. You guys have seen this. Digital Explorers, if this doesn't come out, go down. I'm creating opportunities. And some of you said, you're promoting. I said, you betcha I'm promoting. Because everything I do is to change this planet in a way that allows people that choice, not impose or tell them they have to do something. So it's up here somewhere. You can click or go down, digitalexplorers.net. How do you create a planet conscious business and earn money doing something good? This is the way we always should have. It's based on your passions first. Positive impact on the planet. Start to create these systems. Think about how we can make it a even playing field without charity. Okay? When I say charity, I mean give them opportunity within charity so they can make the change, so that instead of getting handouts all the time, which we of course always should do this, but How do we help you to get out of the situation if you choose it? Start to think of ways to do that. It's so exciting. Isn't this exciting stuff? We can change it, and I see that already happening, by the way. Timelines for full ET contact. Some are walking among us. I was told that I was a hybrid, and when I was told this is a long time ago, I didn't know what that was. I'm like, lady, I am out of here. Hello, what the heck is that? Started to think about a few things. I thought, why not? Why not? What, we came from one thing? No, we're everything. Look at us. We don't look alike. You know, look, the Asians, the Africans, the white species, the Nordics, we all look so, how did that happen if we're one thing from one, it's impossible. Do you know nobody's ever addressed this? How's it? Oh, okay, it's where well, how did they get there? I'm sorry, I think we're a blend of everything, and everything has come here, and we've blended, and whatever. I love it. I think it's called diversity. Yeah, we're exploring being different, because we're just one beautiful light thing. Timelines for full ET contact will not rely on governments or institutions at all. I've said this to you guys. Why do we care about full disclosure? These are groups that have constantly lied, and all of a sudden we're waiting for them to tell us. I already know there are just endless species out there. And we are like on such a Neanderthal level. They're just waiting for us to catch up. And we are. And the Arcturians say this. We are catching up. There's no connection to government. Their arrival will have no connection to government. Their programs. Stop blaming them. Stop blaming them. They are in a low frequency that thinks that they know what's best according to what they decide. Right? Judgment and fear will affect your experience. So if you want to have contact, and I love to contact the collective intelligence, and I always ask it on the highest frequency. I'm like, I would love to get some answers to certain things that I want to achieve. Show me, and I always say, I'll do the work. I'll do the work. Just give me some ideas and opportunities. That's all, because nobody's gonna do anything for you. The benevolent beings are here and cheering us on, and they'll assist you when you desire, but they won't do it for you. I say this all the time. The whole point is for you to understand you can do anything, and then they'll assist. Just like, I can't build a house by myself. It would take forever. I need help. Telepathy, everyone is going into that. As the veils lower and the fears do, you'll realize that this is nothing but absolutely amazing intelligence, love, unconditional, no judgment, no right, no wrong. It just is. It's just experiences. And some will say no, and others will have experiences that are surprises. Some of you they were like, this thing showed up, and it's like, what is that? It's like, you have an opening somewhere. So as an unconscious person, you may not even know why it's showing up. You somehow are evolving, you probably don't even recognize it. This is exciting stuff. How long have I been on here? Pretty long time. I can't see the time. We're going to talk more about this, and I'm not necessarily going to always bring the Arcturians in because I don't even know who they are. They're just one form of intelligence, just like the human species is. They're just experiences within a group. And they said that there will be a time period when they will experience unconsciousness too. So it's not like, oh, they're higher than us. They're higher than us in frequency right now. And we may have been higher and came down here. That's how it works. There's no, this is how it is in stone. It's like we're all experiencing everything because we are. Well, this is crazy, isn't it? It's like mind-blowing. I love it. So are you guys like going, okay, wow, okay, no rules. I get to choose. There's no one event. There's no way you do this. You know when something feels high frequency to you or not. Start doing it or not. Love one another. see the light in the other. That person on the street, on drugs that you may judge. I saw this young guy, he sits outside our grocery store, and I stop and I go, what can I get you? Because I'm not asking for anything. I said, I didn't ask you if you were asking anything. I want to know if I could get you food. I'm going in there. So I gave him a 20 bucks and I said, just go buy what you want. Saw him again. I said, what can I get you? And he goes, Reese's peanut butter cups. I said, I'll get you anything. That's what I want. I have a sweet tooth. And I thought, I'm not going to judge that. Okay. I got him a big old pack of Reese. He was so excited. That's all he wanted. And I gave it. I decided. And I could have gotten some other stuff. Maybe it had gone to waste. But that's what he wanted. So I gave it without judgment. And his face lit up. Under those circumstances, he's choosing that experience. Right? And it's tough because we want to change. I can help you. They're perfect. They're perfect. And as long as you make yourself available for positive change, then you are doing the 5D practices that will take us into a world that is allowed their challenges, their experiences, and allowed to go into a higher frequency because the opportunity is there, right? We're creating the opportunities for them to make a different choice. That's the key, not to try and change them. This is tough because it's painful. We came here for that. But it's going to end on some level. You will continue to have challenges. You will embrace them. They will not be painful anymore. And they will not be on the level that they have been. Beautiful things are happening. I'm so excited. Do you feel it? Yeah, Landria 4.0 kicked in. And I feel it. And you feel it, or you wouldn't be on my channel. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Again, all of the resources I have to detox, my book, Breakthrough Fear, which is free, that's down in the description. Breakthrough Fear is an email list, videos and webinars, and there are classes you can take. digitalexplorers.net, free webinars, and it shows you why people online don't succeed, because their focus is never on the things that are expansive, purposeful. Passion, profits come easily when you go into that space because you're in alignment with money that is earned in a high frequency and spent in a high frequency. But it's not your focus. Your focus is being here and being the amazing, high frequency, perfect person that you are. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.